Okay, everyone, let's tweet. That is not what I'm talking about, and you know that now. But you know, if I had said that 15 years ago, you probably would have thought I'd lost my mind. That's because back then Twitter didn't really exist, and it certainly wasn't part of our social just consciousness here in the world today. But now Twitter has just become omnipresent in the information world. Journalists use it to send out their information, and they also use it to track down information, look for sources, look for quotes. It's also used and abused for all kinds of misinformation and disinformation. And that can run the range from Russian agitators to people who just are sending out rumors that aren't grounded in facts. And the coronavirus pandemic has just seen an explosion on Twitter of both important information from scientists, from government agencies, from emergency responders, and also a lot of bad information out there. So now it's time for the planet to put its toe into the Twitter water, so to speak. We've had a Twitter presence in the past, but it's been pretty feeble, frankly. But this quarter, I'm going to ask you to help really boost the presence of the planet in Twitter. And the reason why I'm asking you to do that is for two reasons, really. One is that I want you to actually learn the skills of how to navigate around Twitter and how to effectively send messages on Twitter, how to use it to transmit real and valuable information. And the other reason that I'm asking you to do it is because I think there's actually a value to the community to have more people putting out legitimate fact-based information about the pandemic that we're in the middle of. And so I'm hoping that the planet can help do that effectively as a community service, which is really what journalism is about. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to be using the planet's Twitter feed to send out information related to the coronavirus pandemic in Whatcom County. And so that means that it's going to be either news that is happening in Whatcom County or in the surrounding area that relates to it. So for example, news that's happening in Seattle is certainly of interest to people in Whatcom County. Same thing for Vancouver, British Columbia. So one thing is going to be news about what's happening in the community. And then another part of it is going to be crucial facts that are important for anybody who's stuck in the middle of the pandemic to understand. So this might be facts from scientists, it might be facts from public health agencies, or from emergency response organizations. So that kind of information as well. And that might be stuff that's not specific to Whatcom County. So it might be a tweet from a legitimate scientist about new information on infection rates, for example, or an announcement from the World Health Organization related to the pandemic. So here's how this is going to work. Each week, each of you will be assigned to produce one tweet on your own Twitter account. And if you don't have one, you're going to be creating one on your own Twitter account. You're going to direct that tweet to the Planet Twitter feed so that we see it. And the Planet Twitter feed is at WWU Planet Mag. Should be right up on the screen right now. So there's some options about what you might tweet. So one would be tweeting about news that's from a legitimate news source. So that would mean mainstream newspapers, mainstream news gathering organizations, broadcast. So that's one option. Another option is announcements or statements by government agencies, Centers for Disease Control, Whatcom County. Others And then another one would be direct observations by you that are of interest to the broader community. So that doesn't mean direct observations about how cute your cat is during the pandemic or how much you love going for a walk with your friends. But it could be an observation, say you go to the grocery store and you notice that everything of a certain product is gone. I noticed the other day that everything involving canned tomatoes was gone, right? So that's just an interesting observation. It looks like people are hoarding canned tomatoes, right? So I can imagine taking a photo of that. Or again, at the grocery store, it's interesting to see how different grocery stores are dealing with the traffic of the customers as they come to check things out. So I can imagine taking a photo of that and then tweeting about what you observed and where you saw it, right? That's interesting to other people. And then the other option is to retweet somebody else's tweet, right? So that means essentially you're passing along a message that somebody has already put onto Twitter. In order to make sure that you are working with legitimate information from legitimate sources, when you look on the Twitter assignment, you're going to see resources that will help guide you towards people who you can basically trust on Twitter to be sending out good information. So you're going to be doing this every week. The deadline is going to vary. So each day of the week, Monday through Friday, a different story group is assigned to that week. You should see the deadline for your assignment showing up when it's due for your group. By 10 p.m. that evening, you need to have sent out one tweet from your personal Twitter account that meets the expectations for this assignment and is directed at the Planet's Twitter account. Student editors will then be monitoring that account, and when they see those come in, if they think that those tweets meet the standards that we have for accuracy and newsworthiness, then they will in turn retweet the message that you've sent out. And so in that way, the Planet will become sort of a pathway for us to get more information out into the community that's helpful and accurate. I can't believe that I used the word tweet that many times, but that's the world that we're in today. So now I want to take a closer look at the details of the assignment so that if you're not familiar with Twitter, I'm going to walk you through how to set things up. And even if you are familiar with Twitter, I just want to walk you through the basics of how this assignment is going to work in more detail to make sure everybody's clear on this. The first tweets go out this coming Monday, so be sure to check your assignments and stay on top of them. You're going to be doing one every week, same day, same deadline. So once you get going on this, just make sure that you're locked into it for every week. All right, tweet on. Let's dig down into the Canvas assignment to make sure that you know where it is and what's expected. So I'm on the assignments page. The Twitter assignments are at the very bottom. So let's just scroll down there. There we are. There's one for each week. And then each group will have a separate day. So for Maddie's group, you are going to be coming up on Mondays. Anna's group on Tuesdays. Corinna's group on Wednesdays. Olivia's group on Thursdays. And Sadie and Isaac's groups are together on Fridays. So that's the day every week when you're going to be expected to have submitted a tweet from your own Twitter account by 10 p.m. that evening. Let's just take a look at the first one, which is for this coming week. I'm going to let you read the basics here. I'm not going to read this out loud to you, but I just want to point out a few things here. First of all, here's an explanation of the logistics. So, like it says, every week on the same day, you'll make a post on your Twitter account related to the coronavirus pandemic. And in that post, you will mention the Planet magazine using the Planet's Twitter name at WWU Planet Mag. That will alert the Planet editors to the message, and then they can retweet it. Okay, you will get credit for this assignment by submitting a screenshot of your Twitter post on Canvas. on the Twitter assignment by the weekly deadline. So for example, if your deadline is Monday at 10 p.m., by Monday at 10 p.m., you need to submit a screenshot of your Twitter post from your phone or from your computer into Canvas in order to get credit. And then, of course, in order to get full credit, it will need to meet the expectations that I've spelled out for a good quality tweet. So here are some details that I'm going to go into about how to do this. I just want to come down a little bit further. If you're wondering about what makes for a good tweet that meets our ethical and accuracy standards, we have a Planet Twitter guide. So that is right here. You click on that. It's a Word document. Go to that and please read it before you start tweeting. Here's a list of the grading. You have to submit the screenshot. It has to be in the correct format and includes the naming of the Planet's Twitter account. It needs to be newsworthy and relevant to the coronavirus. It needs to be factually accurate and from a credible source, and it needs to avoid your opinion. And then the tweet needs to be well written and use Twitter methods to help attract attention using hash marks, Twitter handles, and links to websites. For more details about that, look at the Planet Twitter guide. And then the information needs to be timely. We don't want tweets about things that are a few weeks old. All right, let's go back up here for a minute and walk through the basics of how to get going. First of all, if you do not have a Twitter account, go set one up. It's quite easy. It's like subscribing to any other website, and it's free. All right. The next thing to do is that you're going to follow lists. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But there are 2 Twitter lists on the Planet's Twitter account. And when you follow those lists, that gives you a way to see tweets that are being submitted by sources that we consider trustworthy. Those are one place that you can look for tweets that you can then retweet. I have a pretty detailed description here of how to do that, but I'm going to walk you through it right now in detail. Another thing that I'm going to have, I don't have it here yet, but I'm going to have a document listing local news websites that you can look to for news that you might tweet about. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's imagine that this is your Twitter account. Actually, this is my Twitter account, but let's imagine that it's yours. So we're at the home page for that. So if you want to find the lists that go to the Planet magazine, you go over here to search Twitter, and we'll start by entering the Planet magazine's Twitter handle, which is at WWU Planet Mag. Oh, sure enough, there it is. Okay, we're going to click on that to go to it. All right, here's the Planet magazine. There's these 3 dots right here that give you choices of different things to do. Click on that, and there's View Lists. So go down here, View Lists. All right, here are the 2 lists that are owned by the Planet. Planet Mag CV Whatcom and Planet Mag Corona Experts. So Planet Mag CV Whatcom is coronavirus related news specific to the Whatcom County area. Planet Mag Corona Experts is linked to experts more generally. So it might be the WHO or the CDC or scientists. Okay, so I'm just going to give you an example here. We'll go to Planet Mag CV Whatcom. You can see there's 10 members. That means there's 10 different people that this list follows. And the way that you can follow it is you subscribe to it. So there's this button here, and it's marked as subscribed with 1 subscriber. That's me. I've subscribed to it. So you go to this and you click subscribe. And then what you do is, if you go back to your home, if you want to look at a list, you click on lists right here. And then here's all the various lists. And let's go to Planet Mag CV Whatcom. Here's that. We can go down here and see. You can see I've got a whole bunch of them. But anyway, let's take a look at this one. You don't click on this. That will just take you to the identity of the person who created it. Let's go to Planet Mag CV Whatcom. And then this takes us to all the latest tweets from the people that we are following on that list. So you can see Bellingham Herald, Seattle Times, Jay Inslee. Some of these will not be coronavirus related, but a lot of them will be. So, for example, here's one from the Seattle Times about Donald Trump making comments about the possibility of ultraviolet light or other kinds of disinfectants being used to treat people. Here's another one about state road projects in COVID-19. So, there's a lot of opportunities here to find things that you can retweet very quickly. Retweets are a pretty quick way to do this. But you just want to be sure that you check out what you're actually retweeting. You do not want to retweet bad information. Let me repeat that. Do not retweet bad information. Twitter is full of a lot of bad information. We are trying to add to the good information, the accurate, fact-based information. So before you hit retweet, and before you name the Planet magazine as the source of it, check what you are retweeting. Don't spread bad things, please. Well, by bad, I mean inaccurate. We do not need more of that. Okay. Believe that explains all the basics for how to get started with Twitter. If you have any questions about it, don't hesitate to shoot me a message, but my guess is that you'll be able to solve it by going to the Twitter help pages or by just Googling how to solve a problem. But if that's not working, get in touch with me as well. Good luck. If you haven't already been inducted to the world of Twitter, welcome.